1 Samuel 21. Saul's increasing paranoia. So David left Gath and took refuge in the cave of Adullam, where David's brothers and his father's whole family heard. They went down and joined him there. In addition, every man who was desperate, in debt, or discarded, railed or rallied around him, and he became the leader. About 400 men were with him. From there, David went to Mizpah of Moab, where he said to the king of Moab, "Please let my father and mother stay with you until I know what God will do with me." So he left them in the care of the king of Moab. And they stayed with him the whole time David was in the stronghold. Then the prophet Gad said to David, "Don't stay in stronghold. Leave and return to the land of Judah." So David left and went to the forest of Hereth. Saul heard that David and his men had been discovered at the time. Saul was in Gilbreth, sitting under the Tesmus tree at the high place. His spear was in his hand, and all his servants were standing around him. Saul said to his servants, Listen, men of Benjamin, is Jesse's son going to give all of you fields and vineyards? Do you think he'll make all of you commanders of thousands, of commanders of hundreds? That's why all of you have conspired against me. Nobody tells me when my own son makes a covenant to Jesse's son. No one cares about me or tells me my son has stirred up my own servant to wait in ambush for me, as is the case today. Then Doeg the Edomite, who was in charge of Saul's servants, answered, "I saw Jesse's son come to son of Ahinoam." Inquired of the Lord for him and gave him provisions. He also gave him the sword of Goliath, the Philistine. slaughter of the priest. The king sent messengers to summon the priest of son of Arab, and his father's whole family, who were priests in Nob. All of them came to the king. Then Saul said, "Listen, son of Arab, I'm at your service." "My lord," he said. Saul asked him, "Why did you give Jesse's son? Why did you and Jesse's son conspire against me? You gave him bread and a sword that inquired of God for him, so he could rise up against me and ambush, as is the case today." Saul replied to the king, "Who among all your servants is as faithful as David? He is the king's son-in-law, captain of your bodyguard, and honored in your house. Was today the first time I inquired of God for him? Of course not. Please don't let the king make an accusation against your servant or any of my father's family, for your servant didn't have any idea about all of this." But the king said, "You will die, all you and your father's whole family." Then the king ordered the guards standing by him, "Turn and kill the priest of the Lord," because they sided with David, for they knew he was fleeing, but didn't tell me. But the king's servants would not lift a hand to execute the priest of the Lord. So the king said to Doeg, "Go and execute the priest." So Doeg the Edomite went and executed the priest himself on that day. He killed 85 men who were lion epods. He was also struck down Noeb, the city of priests, with the sword, both men and women, infants, and nursing babies, oxen, donkeys, and sheep. However, one of the son of Artub, escaped. His name was Ab, and he fled to David. Ab told David Saul had killed the priest of the Lord. Then David told Ab, "I know that Doeg the Edomite was there that day, and he's sure to report to Saul. I myself am responsible for the lives of everyone in your father's family. Stay with me. Don't be afraid of the one who wants to take my life, wants to take your life. You will be safe with me." Thank you for listening to this chapter, and God bless.